welcome to the Finger Lakes 45 present.
Welcome to the Finger Lakes of New York. Welcome to the virtual Watkins Glen International. And today we have the Bonfire Racing League race number 13 of the season for the Finger Lakes 45. As we're running the third to last race from the season, only 2 more races after this left in season 13, and the championship push starting it tonight. That's starting today. Today is going to be a very crucial moment in the in the championship, especially for that tight points battle we see for the pro point standings. Today is going to be a very tight battle with the points between Jason Landry and David Medina Sr. And we'll see how that plays out, especially with 2 races to go after this. Qualifying underway currently, and Jason Landry in practice was on the top of the board with a 109.739, and he sets his first lap, a 109.848 in lap number 1 here in qualifying, and he's reset it. So he's only 1 and done for Jason Landry. So really good lap there for Jason Landry. That's a really good lap time. So we'll see if that can hold. Second fastest in practice was Jared Kelly with a 110.676. David Medina Sr. with a 110.690 in practice. So we'll see where they cycle out. Here, Kyle Lanot through the S's. Now down the front back straightaway into the bus stop. Now into the carousel, also as turn 5. So Colin in practice ran a 111.371. So he was the top 4 in practice. Ran a 111.400 here in qualifying on lap number 1. We'll see what it is here on lap number 2. Not through turn 7. Will it be enough to pick up the pole? He's gonna have to gain a lot of time. Medina goes second with a 10.8, and Lanot there on lap number 2, 11.404 flat. That will not be quicker. 11 point, and he will go stay third. David Medina though on lap number 2 through the S's. We'll see, can he pick up here on lap number 2? Has to pick up a second if he wants to get the pole. Get a hard on the brakes down to the bus stop. You're gonna send it hard over these curves as much as you possibly can. Looks pretty good there through there. Wide entry here to the carousel though. He's gonna really drift the racetrack just a little bit. Try to get it cut down off the exit.
Uses all that runoff off the carousel.
Really good power down. We'll see if Medina can pick up a little bit extra time. Hard on the brakes here for turn 6. Have to watch to switch back into turn number 7. Don't want to go too wide here. We'll swing it back to the left-hand side of the track and through turn 7. A little bit off the curb, just a tad bit, but across the line here for David Medina Sr. Isn't going to be enough to pick up. No, it won't. 111.031 for David Medina Sr. He'll stay second, so lap number 2 a little bit slower as well.
Yeah, it seems like the first lap just a lot quicker than second lap for some reason. Not sure why, but just a few tenths, maybe just a tire wear maybe, or drivers just pushing a little bit harder on the first lap. I'm not sure, but still about 5 minutes left in qualifying, 4 minutes now, but still plenty of time for these drivers to set their lap times and get those 2 laps in. But from the looks of it, it looks like the first lap is the quicker lap compared to the second lap for most of these drivers.
Yeah, these drivers looking good so far here through qualifying. I think really the first lap seems to be the best so far, as right now, I think just lap 1, everyone's just trying to get a banker lap in, just trying to get a clean lap in, so they get that track position to start the race, because that's very important here at Watkins Glen, especially on a road course. You lose so much time if you're stuck mired back in traffic early on. So these drivers just want to get some good track position, just make sure they have a decent starting spot with the first lap, and then they really push the second lap and just overdrive it a little bit and 1 or 2 corners, and it just makes them a little bit slower. But overall, really solid first lap for Jason Landry. Puts it on the pole with a 109.848, really fast lap time. As in officials all week, that's been a pretty good lap time. So then also, like usual, all these drivers, they have the iRacing officials throughout the entire week to kind of use as practice and kind of gather some information throughout the week. So Jason Landry able to be very fast throughout the week, even officials. That's very quick time. So David Medina Sr., a lot of quick times here out in front out here tonight. But David Medina running some extra laps is there as well. No one else out on the racetrack just yet. It's Kevin Kyle, Chris Smith, JZ Bennett. The only 3 yet to complete the runs is actually Chris Smith going to complete his second lap right now. First lap was a 112.516. He's off turn number 7. We'll see if he can
looks
pick
like
it
it's
up.
going to be way off the pace there.
124.329. So I think just got probably spun somewhere or made a big mistake, and unfortunately it's a little bit slower lap. But 112.516 will put him P9 on the board. Kevin Kyle now on the racetrack. He should have enough time for 1 lap. I don't think he'll have enough time for both.
Yeah, which shouldn't be a big issue, as obviously today or this morning we've seen first lap has been pretty quick, but we'll see what happens here for Kevin Kyle as he's going down the bus stop right now. That 31 machine. A little messed up the exit. Oh, don't believe he hit anything, so he can keep going. But he cannot reset at this point because he won't have time to complete his lap. So luckily he did not get any damage there from that little half spin off of the bus stop there as he's through the carousel. As that definitely probably warmed up his tires quite a bit. Not what you want to have happen, but he continues to keep going. He's got plenty of time to complete his lap here. But he's, like you mentioned, not going to be able to do a second lap.
It might be a little tight here. He's going through turn 7. He's going to have to really hustle it back to the line. Can't do that spin again, but off of turn number 7. He'll bring that KK Woodscapes machine to the line.
Yeah, has to be quicker than a 115 if he wants to get official lap time in.
Down to turn number 1, gets on the curb a little bit. You could extend it all the way out, use all the curb off of turn number 1. Set it down to the S's, moves on to the curbs.
Oh, got really close to that guardrail right there, up the S's. Now down to the back straightaway, DRS wide open, down to the bus stop.
A DRS sign just in the background there for the Formula 1 races that happen here on the service, but through the bus stop, nice and conservative. Looked really good though, nice and clean. But down through the carousel now, doesn't want to get too tight here, don't want to overdrive this. You can really compromise a lot of time here. They extend this out as much as he possibly can now off the carousel down into turn number 6 now. Past the exit curbs of the boots onto the brakes into 6.
Looking like a really good lap time right now.
Pretty good here for Kevin Kyle through the final corner. 10 seconds left on the clock. He'll have enough time to get it back. Actually, he's gonna pit. So he's gonna practice pit road there.
Maybe got 1x possibly, because I mean,
see where he would have got one, but I think he just
easily got probably top 10 there. Maybe I would assume. Seems like he had a decent lap time going. But anyways, he's gonna start in 17th in the race.
So line up 17th as we'll grid up here on the grid. And getting ready for the Finger Lakes 45 here from the Glen. This driver's gridding up here, so good time to mention kind of the point situation coming into today, as the pro point standings only a 7-point gap between Jason Landry and David Medina Sr., and as usual both of them on the front row. So those two are going to be battling out for that Pro Point Championship. They're 143 points ahead of David Owens. So pretty far ahead from the rest of that Pro standings field. And then Ricky Mandela Sr., Ricky Mandela also the AM points leader, 86 points ahead of Jose Medina. So he's looking really good to hold that all the way to the finale in 2 weeks' time here from at Daytona. These drivers getting ready to roll off here from the Glen. Let's take a look at our starting lineup for today's Finger Lakes 45. Jason Landry, 109.848. Puts it on the pole. David Medina alongside him in second, and that will restart in that 9 machine. Starting third will be the 988 of Kyle Lynott, and Nicholas Rendo will start fourth. Starting fifth will be the 52 of David Puel. Jose Medina will start sixth. Brandon Finley will start seventh. Michael Sarr will start eighth in that 27 machine. Starting ninth will be the 37 of Chris Smith. David Brenner will start 10th, and Nick Mills will start 11th. And alongside him will be the 57 of Thomas Fox. Prof. Ferdiani will start 13th. Ricky Mandela will start 14th. Todd Dunn on the 131. He'll start 15th tonight. Our last driver to set a qualifying time. JC Bennett will start 16th. Kevin Kyle will start 17th. 18th will be the 55 of Jared Kelly. Starting 18th will be the 51 of Jared Rose. And alongside him in the 43, starting 20th will be Zach Lawson. And running our 21 car field today with the 80 car of Sam Ballard.
There's not a lot of time for these drivers to warm up their tires. They're going to be starting here on coming down in turn number 6. So they're going to be going green pretty quickly here.
A short pace lap here, getting ready to go. These drivers going to warm up their tires a little bit and get ready to go, but also the tires is definitely going to be a factor today. It is very tight on these. Once you get those worn tires, the carousel gets very tough. So it's worn tires and just kind of saving your tires and making sure you kind of keep some grip into the race car will be really good point, a really good way to win this one. But tire wear is going to be a factor. 45 laps here from Watkins Glen. Pace car is off. Green flags in the air. We're on our way here from the Glen. Parma breaks into turn number 1. Landry will clear Medina quickly as everyone's going to try and slot in line here for the S's. As everyone will go up the hill, up to the left, and switch back to the right. Mostly everyone single file now, as everyone single files out, getting in line, settling in here for the long race here. 45 laps. Still got a long run here. Got one hard on the race here for the rest stop. First time of the day. Little lock up there for the back. Ferdiani locking up. Ferdiani locking up there into the bus stop. He keeps it clean. I don't think anyone hit. Actually, I don't think he hit anybody. So good save there for Paul Ferdiani.
You got some contact
there.
there.
One driver there, Jared Kelly, I believe.
Yeah, Jared Kelly.
That was Jared
Light
Kelly.
damage though, but nothing too severe there for that 55 machine.
That's not gonna be good for Ferdiani as well. Locking up those front tires.
Yeah, especially early on in this race.
Running a few officials myself, the ISC officials myself this week. It's just I know this tire wear is a very big factor. So locking up these tires, these drivers will be really struggling with tire wear today, especially through the carousel. It gets very bad through the carousel. Just so much load on the tires, you'll just get very tight, and honestly, you end up wanting to dropping a gear than what you can normally. So it's just really slow through that carousel, and you'll fall off about 2 to 2.5 seconds if you really hurt your tires really bad. But you'll get about 1.5 seconds of fall off at least, and it'll get very bad, and you could easily burn up your left front and right front tire, just kind of setting the carousel a little bit too much. You gotta be careful. You don't want to fully push it here this early. You want to kind of keep your tires underneath the race car, because you really get tight through there and you're battling with somebody. If you really really have bad tire right through the carousel, overshoot it really bad, it's gonna be very tough to kind of get it turned back down, and could open up a passing opportunity in that carousel. So we'll see who can master that tire wear today. But Jason Landry so far out in front by a couple tenths of a second over David Medina Sr. and Kyle not too far behind, but they have pulled away from fourth place there, Nicholas Rendo, as he's a little bit farther back compared to third. But most of all, kind of nose to tail a little bit through the rest of the field. Everyone's staying nice and safe gap between each other.
Zuluaga spinning off the final corners. He's going to come back on the racetrack. As Jay-Z Benita there, and Ricky Mandela, I believe, as well.
JC Bennett, a little bit of contact off the Ricky Mandela off the final corner. Oh, so it looks like Mandela just got up into the marbles, lost it, and came down into JC Bennett. They made contact off of turn number 7.
Yeah, not too badly damaged for either of those drivers, so this should be okay. But definitely the tires are probably going to be pretty worn out already here on lap number 3.
Also just keep in mind, we do have an opportunity for full course cautions today. So unlike we usually see at kind of road courses, but if it's 11x within 3 seconds, that is the criteria for yellow caution. So we'll see if that ever gets thrown. Controlled by Iris Control with Kevin Kyle, we'll see how that plays out.
Most likely that'll be a 3-car wreck, most likely, if that is the case, given the 11x situation.
And also, we're really spread out now, so really your best chance for that to happen would probably be right on the restart. But so far, pretty much everyone's spreading out already now. Getting some big gaps. Right now, David Medina and Jason Landry have pulled away from the rest of the field by over 3 seconds. For Kyle Lynott, they're in P number 3. They are gone today already here on lap number 4. These two staying pretty close together. These two are going to have a pretty good battle throughout the race, like we saw last week, a week ago. So our Landry holding the race lead last time by 111, 158. Really saw lap times, just not really pushing that pace a whole lot. Trying to keep the tires under the race car. These drivers have 50% of their normal fuel tank. So a normal fuel run, you can go anywhere from I think you can go about 35 laps on fuel. So these drivers can only go probably about 17 laps. So you're gonna have to make a 2-stop race. So pit stop's definitely gonna be a big factor, and I don't really think you can get away with 2 tires. Maybe if you go run it dry the second time, you might be able to get away with it, but it might just be a little bit too much tire wear for that to happen. We'll see how that plays out, because really after about 20 laps, the tires are really starting to struggle. But you'll definitely start to feel it after about 15. So I mean, at the tail end of this run, the tires are really gonna struggle, and just gonna get really tight, especially with the carousel. But off of turn number 7 this time by will compete lap number 5 of the day, and Landry and Medina are gone by about 5 seconds now over the rest of the field.
Guys, they've really stretched out their gap big time, as most of these drivers kind of spread out a few car lengths in between each other right now, and just trying to maybe manage your tires right now here in lap 6 early on in this first run. There's one driver way wide there in the background. That was Michael Sara there. The 27 machine.
Alright, Sara through the S's a little bit farther back from the car in front. Not too far behind him though is that 22 of David Brenner. A few cars up in front of them, they are kind of just kind of nose to tail a little bit, kind of a safe gap, kind of what we see with the leaders, about 3-4 tenths between each car. There's a little pack of 4 cars in a way, but everyone's kind of staying nice and calm so far. Everyone just taking their time. Trying to save the tires. Sara falling back a little bit behind as he actually got passed by David Brenner and Chris Smith. Well, not Chris Smith, but Jared Kelly. As Jared Kelly now passes David Brenner as well. Really good move in the turn 6. I think Michael Sara just missed the brakes a little bit, and Jared Kelly actually finds his way through. But here comes Sara through the bottom on the brakes. It loses on the brakes. They'll collect to Jared Kelly into turn number 1. They'll both go spinning in on the runoff. Michael Sara, they just lost it on the brakes there.
Yeah, same thing he did a lot before. It's overshot turn 1 big time, but instead there was a car right in front of him. And I mean,
fortunately, he tried to get through the grass, trying to miss it, and just got into Jared Kelly there. Unfortunately, Jared Kelly, nothing he could do there. Luckily, he'll be able to get back going and try and gain some time back, but a lot of time lost, and they'll fall all the way back to 12th behind Kevin Kyle. Jared Kelly makes that move, but Brandon Finley blown up
Blown
there
up,
on,
yeah, I believe,
on
yeah.
the carousel.
Oh, hard hit off of the bus
Hard
stop.
wrecked off the bus stop. What if he clipped this kind of third curve there? That really upsets the race car.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. Just clipped it just at a bad angle.
And
Spun it
ooh.
around. Almost collected Nick Mills there.
Luckily, everyone
Nick
else
Mills
avoided him,
barely
yeah.
escaping that one.
There's a couple
Brandon
incidents
Finley
here.
gonna be done for the day. So now back up front here with Jason Landry and David Medina Seniors. Both of them staying within about 4 tenths of a second. Just a very even pace throughout the day so far. We'll see how this strategy plays out between some of these drivers, because I mean, we're gonna see we could see the tire strategy play out. I expect about 17, 18 laps of fuel. So it's gonna be a little bit tight. It's gonna be a little bit tight on fuel and tires to make it a full 2-stop race. I mean, 2 stops, you'll pit around 34, so you can go about 11 laps on an extra set of tires. You could try and get away with 2 tires, but I don't think you can really do that at a road course. But you could see someone try and just take no tires and take fuel only, especially with so little fuel being taken. I mean, you save a good bit of time not taking tires, but how much time will that be enough? Could that gap be gained back on new tires in 11 laps if someone did not take tires? So we'll see some different strategies play out for those top 2, really. But right now, at this pace, they don't have to worry about anyone else playing any real strategy, because they're already 9 seconds ahead of Kyle Lynott and the rest of the field. So those 2 very fast so far today. But Nick Mills now looking to the inside into the S's. We'll go up the hill now as side by side here with Jose Medina. Jose Medina able to carry the speed on the outside lane. They'll clear for that spot still. As hard on the brakes here into the bus stop. They're able to make that move and keep that 5th place position. They're 2 seconds back from Nicholas Torrendo, the next car up in front of those 2 drivers.
So here comes the race lead. Side by side, possibly in turn 1.
A little bit of lap traffic holding up Jason Landry. Allowed Medina to get to the bottom now. Side by side here off of turn number 1. They're going to be side by side through the S's. They get very sketchy if they stay like this through the bus stop. Medina going to have the inside, but now it's switched back to Landry. Medina will slot back in line. They have a lap machine up in front of them. Just in front of them, that will be the 3 of Ricky Mandela. Now Mandela, will he get out of the way here? He's going to hold up Landry a little bit through the bus stop, and he will. So they're going to have to back it up. Medina going to drive it in deep. Going to get to the inside there. Landry just for a moment. He'll back out of it, but down into the carousel now. Landry's going to try and sit to the bottom. As Mandela going to get sideways, going to spin through to the inside lane. That was not Mandela, sorry. That was Gerald Rose. Apologies on that one, but Gerald Rose spins off the carousel. Almost collects Jason Landry. As almost ended the disaster for our race leaders.
They got through lap traffic though cleanly, somewhat for the most part, but they stay 1-2 for now, same order as they entered that lap traffic.
Yeah, Landry had to go around some lap traffic, locking up, and he had to go around the outside off the final corner. That allowed Medina to get right there off the final corner a lap ago. And now he's going to have to regather, hoping he can try and find a spot, kind of another mistake like that, or misfortune for Jason Landry again, to try and close that gap back down, because they're so even paced, so hard to gain time for each of them. And Landry just looking strong right now out in front, not able to hold off the gap, just able to hold off the gap.
As Jose Medina off the turn number 1.
Jose Medina now off around off turn 1 here. It looks like he may just lost some of the brakes.
Oh, almost got Mills.
Yeah, got in too deep and just lost it once he had to turn for the corner. Luckily, not too bad. He didn't fully spin it around. He just probably lost definitely a couple seconds there, but he still holds on to 8th. Lost a little bit of spots.
Yeah, lost 2 spots there. Was in 6th place.
Jared Kelly working his way back up to 7th. Contact earlier.
Yeah, also in turn 1 as well.
Jared Kelly trying to hunt down that 22 of David Brenner right in front of him, trying to get that 6th place spot away. Getting really strong right now, though, off the turn number 6. A really good run. We'll see if he has a run down to the 7. He's actually got to the inside as David Brenner, a little bit wide through the corner. He'll fall behind Jared Kelly there, so good move for Jared Kelly. He'll move up into that 6th place spot. Now he's going to try and chase down Nick Mills for the race, for that top 5. As also David Ian chasing Landry down for the race lead. Had a really good run off the S's there. Not enough to make a move into the bus stop, which I don't think we're really going to make a move into the bus stop this early. You can try it, but I think it's just not, I know it's going to be that aggressive just yet. Yeah,
that would be a pretty aggressive move here early on in this one.
Landry a little bit better through the bus stop in the carousel there, just a tad bit. He's able to pull away just a little bit, kind of give him a little bit more of a buffer now. It's really Medina's best chance is probably in turn 1 to really make this opportunity. Turn 6 possibly if he can get a really good run off the carousel, but turn 1 really good passing opportunity. He stays side by side through the S's. Could work out, but right now he's still just kind of hanging about half a second back. So these two stay pretty close throughout the day so far. As time by Medina just slightly faster, but about half a tenth. So far, really close on the racetrack right here between these two. That went out straight out, just kind of minding their business, don't want to make any mistakes. But not too far for pit stops here, probably about 5 more laps. We'll start to see our first pit stops of the day. You could also probably, ideally, you could probably just split it into thirds every 15 laps, come down pit road. Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out. Who will pit early? I think honestly, the overcut will help just a little bit. But you don't want to go undercut too much because you'll really lose a lot of time on the kind of the longer run. You have to save your tires a little bit, going a little bit longer. So a little bit longer will be a little bit hurt a little bit if you undercut early. So far, Jason Landry holding this lead by about half a second now, getting close to some lap traffic up in front of him there. As that's going to be Thomas Fox, just not too far in front. See if the Landry could catch him in a bad spot, allow Medina to kind of get that spot back. But now, Jared Kelly now losing a little bit of time as he loses spots to David Brenner.
He spun off the exit of turn 7. There's a little lap traffic ahead of him. Oh yeah, he
blocked up there, hit the back bumper, spun, went through the grass a little bit. Good save though for Jared Kelly, but lost a spot to David Brenner. So he really pulled away from David Brenner there.
Yeah, he was within, I think, 3 seconds of possibly Nick Mills for 5th. Now he lost about 2.5, 3 seconds there, side by side down into the bus stop. Lap traffic right there. Trying to get out of the way.
Onto it, but Jose Medina though, a little wide, really wide through there. Really bad bus stop. He'll actually really slow up there.
Really slow off the exit.
And just a really late turn in there. It's now on lap number 15, so we'll see what the strategy is for our race leaders. Will they split it evenly every 15 laps? Or can one of them stretch it to 22? I don't think you can really do that. Just not going to be that. I don't think you just got that much fuel in the car. But Landry leads by about half a second over David Medina Sr. Not too far, just a couple car lengths down to the bus stop.
Yeah, it kind of been like this the whole race is within about half a second between these two drivers. And if Landry makes a mistake, Medina will be right there to pounce. We almost saw that with the lap traffic also as well, as more lap traffic up ahead, getting out of the way through the carousel.
Danny down to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll stay out of the way, but down the kind of the secondary back straight, the shoot into turn number 6. As now we'll see, does Landry come down pit road and pit a little bit earlier, or will he stay out another lap? And what about Medina? Medina can try and pull the undercut here, knowing how hard it is to pass. Could try to pull the undercut, get out in front, and try to play defense once he gets out in the race lead. So we could see an undercut strategy from Medina. But so far, both of them stay out on the racetrack. One more lap here, lap number 16. Complete 15 laps. Kevin Kyle, he'll come down pit road, and he'll fall back to 12th after pit stops.
As here comes Jared Kelly, maybe looking for that 6th place spot back from David Brenner there in the 22 machine.
Jared Kelly had really good speed in practice. He'll make the same move once again like he did last time getting around David Brenner. He'll clear for that spot, but Jared Kelly really good pace through practice, just not the qualifying he hoped for. And now he's trying to drive back through the field. Actually,
Yeah.
Jared Kelly did not qualify at all, so he's just trying to drive through the field, and he's now back up to the top 6 there as he passes David Brenner. So he'll try and chase down Nick Mills. So Jared Kelly, though, looking great pace. He might be able to chase down maybe for a top 3 by the end of this one.
Yeah, Jared Kelly, I mean, he's also had 2 incidents already that he's half spin for one of them and kind of another half spin for another in the final corner. So he's been involved in 2 incidents already, and he's still in that 6th place spot. So he definitely has the speed to maybe challenge at least easily for a top 5 and maybe even the top 3 at the end of this one.
Yeah, he's only 5 seconds back from Nicholas Rendo and Jared Kelly. Last time by in a 13.365, and he did have to get by there and Rendo in a 13.441. So he is a little bit quicker than the next driver in front of him, Nick Mills, 3 tenths faster last time by, and that was with a little bit of traffic. So Jared Kelly looking very good as we'll starting to see a first few drivers down pit road now. Michael Starr, saw Kevin Kyle a lap ago, Paul Ferdiani. Just a lot of the drivers coming down pit road now. The Jason Landry staying on the racetrack with David Medina Sr. How much longer can he go? Is Al Medina falling back a little bit? Is that actually going to have Ricky Mandela a little bit in the way here? As he'll back up in the bus stop.
Terrible bus stop entry. He's going to lose a lot of time, almost a second, maybe even 2 seconds here. As a terrible bus stop for David Medina there, getting around the lap traffic. Probably one of the worst spots you can catch lap traffic right there.
Yeah, really bad area to catch lap traffic, and this very tail end of this run not looking great for David Medina Sr. We'll see if he can pit a lap early, maybe get an undercut or overcut on Jason Landry. Or just be a little bit better on to pit road. So see, this time by, don't see him be able to go much longer here.
I would pit, if I was Medina, I would pit one more time here. Yeah, I'm pitting this time.
And here comes Medina, he'll pit, so he'll try and get that undercut now. With the fresh tires, so slow it down to 40 miles an hour, long trek down the front straightaway here. Plowing not from 3rd place, he'll pit as well. So Jason Landry able to go a little bit longer. He'll go 18 laps there.
So we'll see what Nick Mills does. He's coming down pit lane. So a lot of drivers coming down pit lane here on lap 17 coming to 18. So 4 of the top 5 come down pit lane. Looks like
that's
no
why everyone running out of fuel there. So Landry actually looking strong as he can save a little bit extra gas there. Could allow him, if he does that again, he could allow him to shorten that last stop up a little bit if he takes fuel only. But there's David E off of pit road. We'll see where he'll cycle out compared to Jason Landry. Once Landry comes down pit road, Landry entering turn 6 now here through turn 6. We'll see if he peels it off to the right-hand side here off of turn number 7. A little bit of smoke out in front of him. Somebody locked up, spun off into turn 6. But here comes Landry. He'll but he blocks it up.
Aggressive pit road entry.
Really aggressive pit road entry.
He doesn't look like he got a black flag though.
Did not get speeding. Almost could have ended in a disaster there. Good save for Landry, but he'll run it down pit road. One driver did get a black flag though, Zach Clausen.
That is 11 laps down. So also David Brenner taking 2 tires, 8-second pit stop for him, and Jared Kelly only a 12-second pit stop for him, so he might have took 2 tires as well. So interesting strategy call for those 2 drivers kind of in the mid-pack right now. Kelly just trying to gain as much time as he can after those 2 incidents that he was involved in earlier in today's race.
Now Landry rolling out of pit road and Medina not even on the final corner.
Landry took 2 tires as well.
The 2 tires for Jason Landry. We'll see how that plays out for him. Will 2 tires be a little bit quicker if you're on the road course?
Maybe I would assume the left side's only because it's more of a right-hand road course. You only have really 2 left-handers.
We'll see, mate. That could play out well for Landry. We'll see how much faster he is, if he is at all on the 2 tires.
That's
It
about
could hurt him a little bit later at the tail end of this run. It could hurt him a little bit. If he gets really bad rotation through the carousel, it could hurt him a little bit by the end of it. But David Brenner now trying to hold off that 05 machine.
Kind of a 3-car battle here for 5th. As it looks like everyone has pitted so far. Yeah, everyone has pitted. As
Nicholas Rendo, that 05 there, just custom number there on his paint scheme. So 854 on the timing tower. But Rendo trying to close the gap in, trying to
And they're
get
catching up to Nick Mills as well. This could be a 4-car battle for 4th place pretty soon here in the next few laps.
Nicholas Rendo not having a good stop as he was, because he was running 4th. And now he's falling back to 6 behind Brenner with Brenner's taking that 2 tires. So we'll see if Rendo can find his way back by David Brenner here. So he'll try to break back into the top 5. He'll extend out the carousel there and extend that runoff. They're going to try and chase down Nick Mills. But David Brenner looking strong. Jerry Kelly's back, Meyer back in traffic a little bit. He was looking a little bit better. Well, part of that gap for the race lead is about 10 seconds that last time by, but we'll see this time by. But they have to avoid Gerald Rose there, so they both have to go a little bit shallow through that final corner. We'll see. We'll get a first lap time this time by for Jason Landry. See how if the 2 tires are any quicker than David Medina Sr. So far, David Brenner holding on to that top 5 spot in front of Nicholas Rendo as Rendo goes out in the marbles, gets really wide there. He's going to lose the spot to Jared Kelly. So Jared Kelly will go by that 05 machine. 854 on the tower.
Is now Jared Kelly. Go try to get to the top 5 spot up ahead.
Yeah, good run there for Jared Kelly. Is down through the bus stop. He'll try and hug that curb on the right-hand side. So try and get to the inside of David Brenner. And he will actually really good carousel for Jared Kelly, and not a great one for David Brenner. They'll stay side by side down the back straightaways. He'll slot back. Kelly will slot back in line. Doesn't have enough of a run to maybe make a move into turn number 6. Brendo trying to make that move as actually someone bringing up a lot of dirt here off of turn 7. Lap machine coming going off the racetrack. 3080. And lock up there for Rendo. I think all the marbles down there, all that dirt just all the gravel coming back right on the racetrack caused the lock up there. Made a mistake there for Rendo, and now here comes Kelly down into turn number 1 to pull alongside David Brenner. Brenner will let him go, it looks like, and now Kelly will take that 5th spot away.
Yeah, he's passed David Brenner like 3 or 4 times already today.
Oh, JD Bennell, heavy damage off the S's, got into the guardrail, and he's actually gonna hold up a few drivers here, a few lap cars.
It's gonna be very sketchy here on the entry of the bus stop, as another driver also damaged as well.
That's Zach Clausen. I think if they have made contact a little bit.
Might as well take a see. It looks like Clausen was all by himself there. Just lost up the S's, clipped the grass.
Oh, got a little bit too much curve and got the grass hard on that guardrail. Wonder.
And here comes Bennett. Maybe they may have made contact up the S's possibly.
I think I may possibly just probably maybe separate incidents here. I think yeah. Oh, Jason Bennett lost it, trying to turn it off that guardrail. Yeah, so separate incidents there for both drivers through the S's. So unfortunately, they're both going to be heavily damaged.
As right now,
no doubt, they both have a lot of wheel damage from that. But David Medina a little bit slower, still a little bit faster, 3/10 faster, but he's overall lost some time to Jason Landry. So 2-tire call looking well for Jason Landry. He's now 12 seconds ahead of David Medina Sr.
Yeah, as soon as Jared Kelly got by, he's really pulled his gap down 3 seconds over the drivers behind him. He's trying to chase down Nick Mills right now. Gap between them is 2.5 seconds as well. So Jared Kelly looking really quick here. Probably the 3rd quickest driver on the racetrack currently.
Hey, Jared Kelly very fast. He was 3rd fastest in practice, so not well, he's 2nd fastest in practice, so not a big shock there. He's doing very well so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think if he had a good qualifying, he could definitely be. He could have been in contention for the race win possibly. But right now, Jason Landry, that 2-driver strategy looks really good for him. David Medina Sr. hasn't really been able to catch at all. They're pretty much running the same lap times they had been the last few laps.
Yeah, really, 2 tires not making much of a difference there.
So early
2
on,
tires and 4 tires.
only 5 laps in the run, so we'll see how it plays out long run wise. But
yeah, still just a tad early. I mean, we could see that final 5 laps. The 2 tires could really fall off a cliff, and Landry could be about a second slower. So I mean, we could see that happen as well. So we'll see if that plays out. And also we could see maybe, I wonder, maybe Medina, he could try maybe a fuel only strategy in that final stop that could kind of regain his ground a little bit. So we could see that as well. I think maybe 2 tires might be a little bit better, but I think it's probably going to be on a similar time. But we could see a mixed strategy as well. I mean, somebody could try and take fuel only. You're not going to need a whole bunch of fuel. You're going to only need about 9 laps of fuel, so about half a tank. So that's only about a quarter of a tank of a normal fuel stop. So really not going to need that much fuel at all once the final stop comes around. So far, Landry been dominant today, looking to win. Last week at Iowa was between him and Jason Landry once again. And it looks like it was like that today throughout this first run. So Jason Landry looking to win once again this season. He won last week at Iowa. Looking to go back-to-back for that 56 machine out in front. I mean, too many battles on the racetrack. Everyone's just really spread out now. So, I mean, there's still that opportunity for a caution if there was a big pile-up somewhere. But
yeah, obviously,
we're still spread out now.
Probably up the S's, I would say, because it's just so narrow in that part of the racetrack. So, like well, if a driver spins, we've seen it a few times already. If a driver spins up the S's and everyone with lap traffic involved, and also older tires as well, I mean, that could cause maybe a caution as well. But I would say that's really the only big major part of the racetrack that's very narrow where you can see a lot of cars get involved as well.
Yeah, especially we saw that happen with Zach Clausen and JC Bennett just a few laps ago. They both made contact. Well, it wasn't with them. It was 2 separate instances, but I mean, we could see that happen.
Could have easily had other cars involved in that one as well, but and like I mentioned with the lap traffic and the older tires, you never know. Like road courses, there's usually a little bit bigger of a speed differential between lap traffic and lap cars, just because some people are just really good at road courses, some people are just very not, and some people are just kind of in the middle. And so you see a lot of differential and speeds and whatnot, and could see a major incident possibly, especially with the older tires as well.
Yeah, as I said, actually just the road course just allows the skill gap to open a little bit more, and a lot of these drivers, some like you said, some drivers just not as good as the road course. They just don't have it down yet, and just kind of need the experience, just need to practice a little bit more. But yeah, you just don't have that knack for the road course, and maybe they don't just like road courses. But so obviously some drivers are just very good at road courses, love the road courses, and really enjoy driving them and just run them a lot more, and they just tend to just get a little bit faster and faster over time with more and more experience. So so it opens that skill gap up a little bit, and just more corners to kind of for a driver of a higher skill, a little driver with more experience on the road course can kind of pull away just a little bit more, as we see in real life with Shane Van Gisbergen. As he's so much just better through normally a lot of the real life cup drivers. He's had that experience on the road courses throughout his entire racing career. So it just kind of had that same playoff here as well. Some drivers who race a lot more road courses in throughout on iRacing and hop in a stock car. It is a little bit of a learning curve, but they tend to be a little bit quicker here and there, depending on how well they get at adapting to a new race car. But especially like supercars. Supercars very similar to this race car, very similar to the next gen car. So, especially if you have someone that races a lot of supercars here on the surface, and hop into the stock car here on the sim, it can definitely be a good trade-off, and a lot of good similarities there, as you see in real life with SGG.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just more experience, I mean, that's pretty much the main thing here at road course, is just experience. The next gen just drives so much different than the truck and Xfinity car, so you can't really, you have to drive the next gen really to learn how to drive it. I mean, it's not even similar to Xfinity car or truck like I mentioned, but really any car on iRacing, so it's definitely a learning curve if you aren't usually driving the next gen a lot on the road courses. But Watkins probably arguably one of the easier road courses on the schedule, but still, an easy road course is still not easy as
one driver getting very sideways there, right in front of Jose Medina.
That's Todd Dunn there. He clipped the grass on the entry to the bus stop. Luckily, would have saved for that 131.
A really good save there. As he'll keep it clean, he'll fall behind Jose Medina. Medina will pass by there. He's trying to chase down Kevin Kyle for that 8th place spot. He's the last driver on the lead lap right now. Only probably about 10 to 15 seconds for getting lapped. So that shows you how much faster Jason Landry is compared to the rest of the field. As majority of the field already lapped down, and the rest of the drivers lead lap pretty much already about half a lap behind. That shows you how fast Landry has been today. Very dominant performance. Looking strong to kind of build his points lead.
Yeah, there's 17 laps to go, so we could be seeing some pit stops here shortly as the pit window is open. These drivers do want a short pit.
As the pit window is open for these drivers to make it to the end of the race.
I would assume most of these drivers will probably just split it 15 and 15, maybe pit in 3 or 4 laps here.
That's probably the goal for a lot of drivers. You saw a few trickle in a lap 15, so that's probably their plan, just kind of split it every 15 laps. So we can also see as the different driver strategies play out there, undercut and overcut. See how that plays out.
As there goes Kevin Kyle down pit lane, 31 machine, first one in pit lane that I can see. He's also one of the first ones to pit last time on the first green flag pit stop. But he's got to go about 16 laps here once he gets lapped, and he will. So he'll have to go 16 laps here on these tires. The most he's gone all race long.
See how well the tire wear plays out for him. He could try and pull away. This strategy could help him pull away a little bit from Jose Medina, or maybe try and chase down the car in front of him. So David Brenner, once they cycle out. Also, how is the strategy play out between the leaders? Could we see maybe no tires or 2-tire call again? This is really looking well for Jason Landry right now. Landry has not fallen off the pace at all, really, compared to David Medina Sr. Even with the only 2 fresh tires compared to before, so very even pace between them still. It's a different tire strategy, so looking really good call for Jason Landry. It gave him more of a buffer if he happened to make a mistake as well. So it kind of gives a little bit of a buffer there. So that's a good news for Jason Landry. Just with Medina right on his bumper, pretty much half a second back. If he made a mistake, Medina was there to pounce on him and try and take that spot away. But now he's in a little bit, so if he does make a little bit of a mistake, misses a couple corners, it wouldn't cost him a whole lot of time compared to his deficit, compared to his gap now. So that 2 tires kind of a good kind of created a good buffer zone as well.
Yeah. As currently close foul on the race track is Jared Kelly and Nick Mills. Kelly is closing on the gap to that 20 minutes. Oh, Mills locking up off the racetrack big time, and there goes Kelly up to 4th place easily in the penultimate corner.
Jared Kelly moves up to 4th, so now we'll see if he tries to chase down Kyle Lynott for that 3rd place spot. Nick Mills will actually come down pit road after that one.
Definitely gonna be a tough ask for Kelly there. He's about 14 seconds back, so he's also getting about a second a lap, which he's a little bit faster than Lynott, but I don't think he's a second per lap faster. So if Lynott makes a mistake, maybe some lap traffic, maybe Kelly can be there right at the end, but definitely gonna be a big ask for that 55 machine.
Could also play some tire strategy well, maybe take 2 tires or fuel only.
True,
so
yeah.
Could see that as well. So pretty wide options here for strategies. We already see a lot come down pit road.
Yeah, Landry most likely will take 4 tires because the right side tires are 45 laps straight is going to be very tough to manage, I would assume. That also opens the door up for Medina to maybe take 2 tires, maybe a flip-flop strategy. You know, Landry takes 2 tires on the first stop, takes 4 on the last stop. Medina takes 4 on the second stop. He takes, or on his first stop, takes 2 on the second stop. So it could be something that flip-flops the strategy there, but we'll see. I think that's Medina's really only chance of maybe winning this race is doing a 2-tire strategy here at his last pit stop.
And Landry, he could try, he could just take another 2 again, but for the
Definitely,
side he didn't take it on last time. So, but the problem is with that one is the side so say he took right side tires. Say the right sides wear out a lot more. Is it really worth taking 2 left side tires again? It might overheat the right front. So, but the rights. So we could see that. And actually, he'll come up pit road. Actually, never mind. He looked
shallow
like
entry, I think.
there. Really shallow entry there, but he'll stay out on the racetrack. He's actually over 12 seconds ahead of David Medina now, so he still is gaining time on David Medina Sr. there in second. Medina staying out a little bit longer, so these drivers can go. Oh, Ricky Mandela ran off of turn number 1. Landry had to go avoid him just a little bit there.
Maybe some contact, possibly. We'll see.
I think maybe just lost some of the brakes again. So we saw that happen multiple times today.
No, there was some contact,
so
yeah. Big sins.
Contact. So I think Mandela, I think he did lose a little bit on the brakes. Was a lot wider there, but he had the inside lane. Then it just tried not to. It just carried a little bit too much speed. You expect Mandela to kind of be a little bit slower off the exit. They both made contact a little bit there. So Medina just kind of misjudging that a little bit. As could see some mixed strategies here. Jared Kelly, Michael Sarr, Paul Ferdiani, Todd Dunn, all down pit road. So majority of the field pitting now. Landry can go to about 8 to go, so he can go a lot longer. So Landry can still go probably another 4 or 5 laps on his fuel tank. Medina can only go about maybe 1 shorter. See how long he will stay out on those tires. Here comes Jared Kelly emerging off of pit road as he cycled out to in front of Nick Mills. Did Nick Mills maybe get that undercut in front of him?
Mills took 2 tires on his pit stop there. 7-second stop for the 20 machine.
So Nick Mills, 2-tire call. Jared Kelly taking 4 once again. So good call there for Jared Kelly.
I think he'll be okay. He's only 3 seconds back from Mills, and he does have the pace advantage and also the tire advantage as well now here with 12 laps to go.
And normally, I don't think you really see a 2-tire strategy call normally here, especially in kind of officials with NIS maybe here on the service. But I think just the fuel's so short, the tires don't really they do fall off, but they really don't hit that cliff after about 18 or so laps. They can really only go 18 laps, but they really fall off the cliff after about 25 laps. And it really starts to struggle. So I think they really don't hit that very peak of the terrible tire wear that really falls them off. So I think the 2 tires helps just enough to where that doesn't happen. Oh, yeah, a lot of skid marks there in turn 1. It looks like someone really missed the corner. A lot of smoke actually, as I believe they have a slower car up into the S's. It's Todd Dunn, slower car through the S's as Jason Lintro go through. So I think that was Todd Dunn's tire marks there in turn 1. Actually, sorry, that was not Todd Dunn. That was Michael Sarra. Sorry. Apologies on that one, but Michael Sarra, I think a lot of front end damage. I think that probably was his tire marks there in the turn number 1. Let's take a look at what happened here. Yeah, it was. So it's not his tire marks, but it looks like he spun off the turn number 1. He did. So spun off turn 1 into the tire barrier there.
Oh, he hit it twice.
Trying to get back going.
Yeah, but update now, David Medina in pit lane. Will it be a 2-tire stop here? I'd assume it will be. No, it won't. He's gonna take 4. I mean, that's kind of surprising to me. I mean, if he wanted a chance to win the race, I think 2 tires would have been the best call for him, but looks like he's kind of going to settle here for 2nd place most likely.
They're just settling for 2nd, but also just don't try anything you don't know. If he already knows how to drive 4 tires, just want to try and risk anything on 2 tires, maybe try to play the long game of this championship. If he knows if he takes 4, he's got a big enough gap, he'll still hold 2nd. He won't lose too many points to Landry, and then he can kind of focus back on Richmond. I mean, if he takes 2 tires, misjudges it, and it doesn't know how to handle the 2 tires, he could cause an incident and lose a lot more points. So he just kind of playing a smarter game, just trying to play it nice and safe. He'll settle for 2nd, and he can probably just come back next week at Richmond and Daytona in a few weeks and try and gain those points there. But Landry, he'll go down pit road. We'll see if he takes 2 tires So he'll take 2 left side tires here off the pit road. He'll see if he goes up for it, and he will. He'll take 4 tires. So Landry 4 tires there. That's a good pit stop there for Jason Landry. Sabadina through turn 6 right now, so he's going to be about the same. So it's just roughly about the same gap. So both drivers taking 4 tires. So Medina cycles back 2 seconds. No. Now, they're so far ahead already. Kyle not sitting there in 3rd. Medina now pitting from 4th, so he was cycled up just a little bit by staying out a little bit longer. But now everyone is pitted now, has made their final stops of the race. While we have this moment here with 10 to go here from the Glen, let's take this moment to do it. I want to crank it up. Come back from our crank it up segment as this time by 5 laps to go for Jason Landry. He has doubled his gap up to 20 seconds over David Medina Sr. Looking very strong for Jason Landry with 5 laps to go. This should run through the field. As Jason Landry looking at still sitting in P1, has led pretty much every lap of the entire race so far. Sitting behind him, David Medina 20 seconds behind him. And Kyle Lott sitting in third. Jared Kelly trying to chase down Kyle Lott, just not going to have enough time to do it. Jared Kelly starting for the back today. A really good run for that 55 machine. He's still sitting in fourth right now. Nick Mills rounds out our top 5 currently running. As Nicholas Rendo starting, he's sitting in 6th right now. David Verner in 7th. And our last driver on the lead lap, Kevin Kyle, almost about to go a lap down to Jason Landry here. Sitting in 8th, Jose Medina in 9th, Chris Smith running at the top 10. So that's our top 10 currently running on the racetrack. Oh, Nick Mills, really big lockup into the turn 6 here, into the gravel. Big mistake there for Nick Mills. So that might bring up a little bit of gravel on the racetrack, and it will. So it could make that a little bit tricky through that final corner. It looks like you already see one driver going wide there, 37 of Chris Smith. Getting wide in that gravel there. And only 4 laps to go for Jason Landry in our for the race lead. Was David Brenner not too far in front of Kevin Kyle here, so Kevin Kyle trying not to lose time here. Getting passed by Jason Landry. He's trying to chase down David Brenner for that spot. But right now, Jason Landry just trying to chill in behind these drivers. I think he can really back off and just try to let them do their thing. He's got such a big gap, so I don't know if he'll try to. I don't think he'll risk it at all here, just trying to get by these lap cars. I still have a line of lap cars here, so this could be a factor. Mix them in all different running positions right now, but now 3 to go for Jason Landry. Just trying to get back to that checkered. Each lap feeling longer and longer, knowing he can go back to back here. It's gonna gain more on his points lead.
A lot of lap traffic ahead of him though, so obviously I just kind of hang back, don't make anything too aggressive. You know, you have a 16-second gap this second, so there's no reason to do anything too aggressively here with 2.5 laps to go.
So looking good for Jason Landry still. This time by will be 2 laps to go. Staying behind Kevin Kyle. Kevin Kyle, though, looking strong, getting a good run here on David Brenner. This is that battle for that 6th place spot. Well, David Brenner, for that 7th place spot.
Right ahead of Jason Landry.
Oh, he loses on the brakes a little bit. Checks up Landry just a little bit. Lost him on the brakes, I think just locked up the brakes a little bit. Wheel hopped it a little bit, but 2 to go for Landry. See if he stays behind these guys.
They're also catching up to Nick Mills as well for 6th, so this could be a 3-car battle here for 6th place. There is a lap car in between them. I'm not sure the number on 37. It's Chris Smith there in 10th in between those drivers.
Play factor as well for that battle for that top 6, but so far they could also get lapped. I think Landry just trying to take his time, letting this battle just shake out on its own.
I think Landry's just gonna let these guys race it out. You know, don't want to be. You know, don't want to make any, I guess, not really enemies, but you don't want to. These guys are racing pretty hard for a position. You don't want to be in the middle of that
really good bus stop compared to David Brenner there. Looked very strong through the entry, but just not the greatest, and not as good as an exit through the carousel. But he's trying to chase down David Brenner. He's not too far back. This time by the leader right behind him, but Jason Landry will take the white flag. So these two will have 2 to go, but Nick Mills will lock up into turn 6. That's going to go wide as David Brenner, he'll fall back. He'll take that spot away. So this is going to be a battle for 6. This is side by side for 7 as Nick Mills holds up Kevin Kyle. So now Kevin Kyle held up from David Brenner, and now David Brenner moves into 6, and Kevin Kyle has a bigger gap to chase down. Nick Mills, though, he's going to try and fight back to the bottom. He'll lock up again. And Jason Landry should have tried. He's going to actually just have to go by here.
Yeah, he can't lose too much time, but he wasn't being too aggressive, just kind of staying behind, like I mentioned. Just didn't want to be involved in that battle there, but it looks like DJ was kind of spaced out now here on the white flag.
And it looks like Kevin Kyle, he's going to have to hope for a big mistake from David Brenner if he wants to take that 6th place spot away. They'll be coming to the white flag this time by Jason Landry right behind him. Unless he passes him, he's coming to the checkered, but down it through the carousel. It's Kevin Kyle actually a little bit slower. I wonder if he just kind of wants to give up this lap. I think he is actually. He's a little bit wider. Landry all over the back bumper. But down the secondary back straightaway here as they pass the exit of the boot into turn number 6. Jason Landry has led pretty much all the race today. And Landry, I think, trying to let him climb around. That'll give that spot back to Nick Mills, but now Jason Landry off the final corner. Domination at its finest once again. He won last week at Iowa. He'll go back-to-back. He'll win at Watkins Glen. The battle for behind. Nick Mills will take that 7th spot away. He'll finish in front of Kevin Kyle's. Kevin Kyle's spinning in turn 6 on the final lap.
So we'll take a look at
Jason Landry, back-to-back wins.
As actually Jason Landry maybe gave him the bumper there on the entry.
I think Kevin Kyle was trying to lost a little bit on the brakes there, I think, and Landry was already right on his back bumper.
No contact.
I don't think he really hit him at all. He didn't hit him at all
it
there.
It was close, but no, he did not hit him.
Very close, but Landry just avoided them. Kevin Kyle just lost it on the brakes a little bit and spun it around into turn 6. Landry's just trying to get it away. I think Landry was trying to maybe put him a lap down, but I think Kevin Kyle was trying to give the lap away.
Yeah.
The way he backed off. But Jason Landry, though, back-to-back wins, extends his points lead over Dave Medina Sr. once again. But now Landry will be able to burn it down here on the French straightaway. He'll burn it down, going back-to-back once again here in the Bonfire Premier Cup Series. And 2 races to go. He'll be in the points lead. Especially going into Daytona in 2 weeks. Can't bank on that points lead staying there at Daytona. Daytona, a lot of stuff can happen. We've seen it happen before. The Rangers try and build that points gap up and build that buffer for Daytona for the season finale in a few weeks' time. But he'll celebrate here from the Glen as he goes back-to-back once again. Jason Landry celebrates here for the Glen. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here from the Glen.
Welcome to the Finger Lakes 45, presented by the Cavalcade Racing Network, and special thanks to Chris Morrill and his support in Season 13.
Season 13 of Bonfire Premier Cup Racing is proudly brought to you by Animal House Customs. Also a sponsor for Season 13, KK Woodscapes, bringing your virtual victories into reality. And finally, but not least, the Swanley Golf Association. This sponsorship is brought to you by Matt Schofield and the number 61.
Welcome back here to Watkins Glen as we just wrapped up the Finger Lakes 45 as Jason Landry dominant performance. Before we get to our interviews, we'll take a quick look at our results for today's Finger Lakes 45. Jason Landry able to pick up the win, 15 seconds ahead of David Medina Sr. Kyle Lanot finishing third, Garrett Gillian fourth, Nicholas Rendell winning the AM class today, finishing in fifth, David Medina in sixth, Nick Mills in seventh, Kevin Kyle in eighth, Jose Medina in ninth, and Chris Smith rounds at the top 10, finishing 11th, the three of Ricky Mandela, Paul Fernandez in 12th, Thomas Fox in 13th, Michael Sarr in 14th, 15th, Gerald Rose, 16th, the Todd Dunn, JC Bennett finishing 17th, and Sam Ballard 18th, the first driver, last driver of the DNF there, David Buell finishing 19th, Zach Austin in 20th, and our 21 car field today was 48 of Brandon Finley being out early in an incident. So, we wait to get to our before we get to our interviews, we'll play our quick sponsor from Mills Insurance Agency.
This interview portion of our programming is brought to you by Mills Insurance Agency, millsinski.com, where you can find all your insurance needs in the state of Kentucky. Thank you once again to Nick Mills for his continued support in Season 13.
Thank you for Mills Insurance Agency for sponsoring these interviews, and we'll bring in our race winner of Jason Landry. Dominant performance once again, and it was dominant out there. Pretty much led every single lap you possibly could, and able to extend your points a little bit more over David Medina Sr., but just talk us through how are you able to get it done today?
Yeah, I mean, I knew I had some pace today. Everybody kind of knows I'm the road ringer here. So I was just trying to save fuel that first stint. Thinking of the championship, I was trying not to let Medina lead any laps to get those 5 points. So I kind of saved fuel, and then when I saw him pit, I went into the pit. I didn't change tires because I knew that was about 3 to 4 seconds faster. And I had saved my tires the first stint, so I could start pushing on the second stint. Yeah, everybody was super respectful today. There's a few little close calls passing some people that were making a little bit of mistakes, but it was just mistakes. There's nothing malicious or anything. And then, yeah, the last stint, I changed tires, had some good pace, so I just continued on. And then I noticed a few guys in front of me. They were battling for position. So I just stayed in behind them. I think it was Nick Mills, Kevin Kyle, and David Brenner. I knew I had a gap behind me, so I just stayed behind them. And then I got to apologize publicly for Kevin because I got a little bit too close on the second last corner. We didn't touch, but he got loose because I was way too close to his rear bumper. I lost track of the braking, and then he ended up spinning, unfortunately, because him and Brenner were having a good battle.
But you're able to pick up the race win and dominate once again, but going into races lap for lap, Richmond to Daytona, just how does building that a little bit extra points buffer over David Medina there, how does that feel, just kind of building a little bit more buffer going into the last two races, especially at Daytona in 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's really important to build that buffer. I know how consistent he is. So I'm trying. I was hoping Jared could get in between us to give me another 5 points on him. So honestly, this is probably best case scenario for Medina. I was hoping for that extra 5 points, but I'll take 10, and hopefully I can get another 10 next weekend. And then, yeah, it'll be difficult at Daytona. You never know what might happen. But yeah, it's going to be tough 2 races, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. This will definitely be a fun battle to watch for the championship in the next 2 weeks. But before we stand up away, any sponsors of the bank for today's race win?
Thank you guys for broadcast. Obviously, thank my teammates. Jared, I think Joe was here. There was Paul and Nick. We were all in the chat together. It's always fun chatting. Yeah, and thanks for Kevin again for great admin. It's been a super fun season, so hopefully we'll keep the momentum going for the last 2 races.
And once again, congrats on your race win. We'll see you next week at Richmond.
Thank you, guys.
So that was Jason Landry, our race winner. We're bringing our second place finisher of David Medina Sr. a little bit farther back there right at the end, but you lost a little bit of time through the pit strategy. So what was your game plan through that strategy with 2 tires and 4 tires there?
Yeah, I was just 4 tires every time. I felt that was just the only way for me to be able to keep the car underneath me was to keep tires on it, and especially trying to challenge a guy like Jason on these kind of road courses. So just went with my best bet.
They're still able to pick up a solid second place finish. You lose a little bit more points to Landry there for the points championship, but you're not too far behind them. You still got 2 races left, especially one of them being Daytona, so kind of a wild card race in a way. So, what's your game plan to try and kind of build this back in the next 2 weeks?
Well, I got to go out there and maximize points. That's got to be the only strategy we have now. So got to go out there and lead some laps and get some wins and stuff. And that's really the only opportunity we have to close this gap up. So got to throw caution to the wind and try to get some wins.
And it'll definitely be fun to watch you two battle it out for the championship within the next 2 weeks. But before we send up on the way, any sponsor thing for today's race, second place finish?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Team Bochum. I want to also thank my sponsor, Cavalcade, and Honeybee Acres. Always appreciate them putting their sponsorship on the car. And you guys up in the booth, you guys do a phenomenal job. Appreciate you guys broadcasting. And then all the admins, including and mostly to Kevin Kyle. Appreciate all he's done, for this league.
And once again, congrats on your second place finish, and we'll see you next week at Richmond.
Yes, sir.
So that was our second place finisher of David Medina Sr. and our best AM driver, Nicholas Rendo, not in the Bonfire Discord. So we're not going to be able to get an interview for that 854 machine call or not. He's also left the voice chat. So we'll bring in our fourth place finisher of Jared Kelly. So Jared Kelly starting didn't qualify there, but you had a very good pace and drove your way up through the field. But pick up a solid 4th place finish today. But how are you able to drive your way through the field there?
Well, it all started in qualifying where I just kept on getting little 0X's here and there and having to start back there in the back. But yeah, it was a tough first stint. We probably got wrecked maybe 3 times in the first stint alone. So we had to crawl our way back. I feel like we could have gotten 3rd there, but yeah, just consistency. I really like these road courses. I would have probably been up there on the podium if I didn't have to start in the back, but it's whatever. When you're running with guys that don't usually run road courses, it's what happens when you go back there and race with them.
You're still able to pick up a very good 4th place finish, and definitely driving through the field there. Going to bring some kind of confidence and momentum going into the final 2 races of the season. So what's your game plan for those final 2 races and here at Richmond and Daytona, and trying to maybe get a win?
Yeah, well, back at the shop, I have the guys working on some new front bumpers. So we're going to build some stronger front bumpers for at least Richmond. Probably Daytona too. We're going to do a lot of bumping there. But yeah, we're going to work with our team. We're going to run quick, run as fast as we can. If it's anything like Iowa, we'll have a pretty good showing. We just got to lock down qualifying.
And you still, even if you don't qualify very well, you proved today that you were able to find your way through the field and get a very solid finish. But before we start off, anyway, any sponsor link for today's 4th place run?
Yeah, Aeromotive, Battleship, North Carolina, Cheddar Scratch Kitchens, Performance Bodies and Parts, the BRL, of course, running here since season 6 probably, enjoying it ever since. All my teammates at Ignition Point, Jason Landry, he got the dub. Probably could have rattled his cage a little bit. I was fast in practice, and we did some practicing together. But yeah, Paul Ferdiani, Joe Bennett, Nick Mills, all those guys. David Renner for racing me pretty clean there. I had to pass him 3 times in that first stint, so good racing him. I know he enjoyed it, but other than that, that's all I've got. You guys in the booth, I know how hard it is to broadcast and produce these races, so I'm jealous of your guys' starting grid screen. Just letting you guys know that. That's something you guys have pretty cool and locked down.
All right, once again, congrats on your 1st place run. We'll see you next week at Richmond.
Yep.
So it was our 4th place finisher of Jared Kelly, and would bring in our best AM finisher, our AM winner of Nicholas Rendo, but not in the Discord. So Nicholas Rendo, our best AM driver, finished today. The next one, I believe this is his first start of the race, actually, first start of the season as well. So tonight, I think full-time AM drivers that did show up today will be Jose Medina winning there, so of the 9th. So good points today for Jose Medina and those AM point standings compared to everybody else. So, but overall, very exciting race today. We saw a mix of different strategies, but look, Jason Landry dominated out in front.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm surprised Medina didn't do the 2-tire strategy, but I think place still a good points day for him overall, but be interesting to see what happens next week at Richmond, the short track there in Virginia.
Yeah, next week at Richmond will definitely be a fun one. Just a 3/4 mile short track in Virginia, so right in the nation, the state's capital of just outside of Richmond. So I think it'll be a fun race next week at Richmond. Before we get there, next week coming up next here on the Legends Racing Network on Thursday night, we'll have playoff race number 3, the cutoff race for the champion to set the championship 5 for the Undisputed Cup Series on Thursday night, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Friday night we'll have the Inter Cup Series at 9 o'clock Eastern Time at Texas, and next Sunday morning we'll have the Bonfire Racing at Richmond at 9:50 a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday morning. But so long here from Watkins, Glen. I'm Aaron Brown, joined alongside my co-commentator and producer of Talent Drake. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time here on the Legends Racing Network.